What up, YouTube? So today is going to be part one of the Honda Civic K24 auto to manual conversion swap. Today we're going to be basically just showing you how to take the engine out and start getting it kind of prepped for the swap. So since this is a 96 to 2000 model, we do have to run a different subframe, and we're gonna have to be getting the manual pedals you can use from 92 to 2000, and then we're gonna run the S2000 master cylinder with a K-swap clutch line, and then the RSX or SI slate master cylinder. So doing a K-swap actually isn't too bad on these cars. If it's auto, I actually prefer automatic cars just because the automatic cars usually are in better condition. This car is a first owner car, so still really good. We just got to get it cleaned up and everything. But first thing we're going to do is get to the battery, get that and the tray out, so we can disconnect the harness from the ECU, and then we'll disconnect the harness over here. Probably start with the intake, and then disconnecting all the little tins on here real quick, and then we'll come back and see what we're gonna do next. All right, so we're back now and we can go over what we did. So the battery tray is just 3 12 millimeters. After that, to get to the harness to disconnect it is 2 10s, and then we pretty much just disconnected these plugs from the ECU. It's just a simple push down and it pull out or wiggle out. It's probably easier to wiggle out because these are old connections, so they're kind of in there. We also got this side. So pretty much when these clips are like this inside of them, you just actually just pull down on this little tab right here, pull forward and wiggle out, and they come out. Pretty simple. We got the intake disconnected, but I think we're gonna have to take the bumper off to get the filter off, so we'll do that later. We can still get the swap out of here. Next thing we're gonna do is get to some more tins. We disconnected our ground so far from the transmission and the bracket over here. So we're gonna disconnect the throttle cable, our brake booster, and then start disconnecting the fuel, which is real simple. You can either take this clamp off right here or one down there, or you can cut it. I mean, we're not gonna use it anymore. Same over here, you can cut it, but it's just easier to just take it off with the 17. We'll knock that out, and then we can start getting to possibly like the power steering bracket. More tins over here. We'll probably just start knocking these all out just to get everything out of the way, and then we'll start getting to like the AC system, power steering, and then go from there. All right, so we're back. We got the throttle body disconnected with the 2 10s right here, our brake booster with just some pliers. We took off the fuel over here and got the fuel cut off over here. So we're pretty much ready to get to the next thing. We're probably gonna do AC. So just be careful. These things are under a lot of pressure sometimes. I know this one actually works. So I just like to bring out the bolt a little bit and then kind of wiggle it until the air starts coming out, and then just let it, do its thing. So we got 2 12s right here for the power steering to disconnect that, and then once the AC system is done, we will take off the 2 10s off the AC power steering pump, and then take off the 4 12s to take the pump off, and then we'll get that out of the way. Other than that, up here we pretty much just got hoses left, but I like to do that after so there's not radiator fluid dripping all over me when I get to the underside of the car. So what I'll probably do right now is do the AC, power steering and stuff, and then we'll go ahead and jack the car up and start getting to the axles and everything. Oh, and then also we have to finish taking off the harness over here. So there's an 8 millimeter or Phillips, and just take that off right there, and then the whole harness will be disconnected, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna knock that out and we'll come back. All right, so we got the power steering off with the 2 12s. We got the condenser out of the way. We're actually gonna be keeping that because we got to swap it over to this side. We will be running AC in this car. We got the AC pump off with the 412s. Pretty much next I'm going to start jacking the car up and getting to the axles, the shifter, shifter bracket or shift linkage, and then axles, exhaust, and then we're gonna drain the transmission fluid out of here, and then see what we have to do after that. Pretty much after that we might just start getting to the mounts. So while I'm down there, these are 14s, and the vibration mount has 2 14s on there, and then over here the same, since we're gonna be actually lifting the motor out instead of dropping it from the bottom on this one. So yeah, we're gonna knock that out, then we can get to the hoses up top and pretty much pull it out. So next we're gonna do is just pretty much get to these axles. I'll show you guys how to take the spindles off. It's pretty much a 17 and a 32 and a 14 if you want to take the shoehorn off, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and start lifting the car, and we'll come back. All right, so we're here on the suspension. I got the other side off already, but I'll show you guys on this one. So this is a 32 millimeter right here. We got a 14 up top up here for the shoehorn, 17 right there, and then a 17 with a cotter pin right here. Once we get that out, then we can start popping out the axles. We got to get to the exhaust tube, exhaust bolts right there, which is a 12, I believe, and 14 on the other side. And then gonna drain the oil right now and get to the shifter cable, and that should be pretty much it on the bottom. Then we can get to our mounts, start draining our radiator fluid, and getting the motor out. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock out these axles and the rest of this spindle over here, and then we'll come back, see what we're gonna do. All right, we're back. We got the axles all out of the transmission. We drained the fluid from the transmission as well. I went ahead and took the headers out, or the exhaust manifold. I'm just gonna drop it through the bottom. We did our 14s for the vibration mounts. Right now we're gonna drain the radiator fluid, get the radiator up out of here, and the hoses, do the heater hoses in the back. And then we got some hoses on the evap box, and then we got this hose right here. We got to take off the motor. Other than that, we pretty much just drop the engine. I just got to take the 17 out from the back. 3 17s up here for 4 17s. No, 3 17s over here, 3 17s over here. And then we have our oil cooler hoses for the automatic transmission. Manual ones don't have these lines, so you don't have to worry about it. Other than that, this motor's pretty much ready to drop. So we're gonna knock out these radiator fluids, and then we'll get ready to start taking the mounts out. All right, so we got the motor dropped onto the jack right now. I'm gonna use this other jack to pull it out, and then we'll lay it down on the ground, and then we'll lift the car up, and then we'll pull the engine out. That's pretty much gonna be it for this video. So I'm gonna knock that out real quick, and then we'll end the video. All right, so the motor is completely out now, and we pretty much just got some prepping to do on the next video. We got to clean up a lot of stuff. We still got to get rid of the intake, evap box, and all that stuff, but we'll get all that going. We still got to I gotta go pick up the pedals in a little bit. But yeah, a lot of stuff is still coming in right now, so next video we'll be doing some prep, hopefully on the engine, getting this babe cleaned up, and then go from there. If you haven't, like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next video.